Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Inspect Director Show.
Hello, welcome to this little chat we're going to have on this fine evening.
Yes, I'm sure we will keep it nice and civilized. Today we are going to be talking about... Well, first of all, welcome to our brand new show on the Inspect Director Show, which is the in-game review.
Yeah,
today
we got our little set going up here.
Yeah, check out all this
fireplace.
You're going to be talking about Animal Crossing New Horizons and Animal Crossing New. Don't waste water.
Oh, it's okay.
How dare you?
Sitting there. Hey, you know what? It's my house, my rules. All right, because I'm the fucking money bags.
Oh right, yeah.
Because you know what? I kind of love this game. I've put over 300 hours into it. So I am gladly hosting our little chat here.
Oh yeah? Well, I don't love this game. And I will fight you to the death to that point.
Dare you? Oh dude, you're gonna get kicked out of my house. If you realize if I turn off the switch, your universe ends and all of your memories get deleted.
I'm fine with that.
I have the power.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. Because today we're discussing whether or not Animal Crossing New Horizons is actually a good game. I am the opposition. I am the heel. I say that this game is way too annoying to be a great time sink, and that it takes way too long to say things.
Well, I think that all of those are very valid points, but that does not take away from the fact that the core gameplay is not only fun, but also rewarding in many ways. Yes, by design, keep me coming back. But my argument for that is, why should I be upset about that? Because I'm not paying extra money to come back every time I come back and play. If this was some sort of thing where I had to pay a monthly fee to continue to play Animal Crossing and to continue my game, or there was some sort of, like if Nook Miles were a rare currency that you could pay real money to get more of, I could see that time-wasting complaint be more valid. But for a game like this, I paid $60 for this game. I'm gonna want to get all of the time I can out of it. Yes, there are certain aspects of this game that are absolutely just designed to kind of keep you coming back. Like the fact that if you don't play for a couple days, your villagers will get mad and weeds start popping up. Which, is all kind of, dirty tactics. But especially for a game on the Switch platform, I'm going to want to keep coming back to this game and playing it. If I'm on an airplane and I have like 2 hours to kill, run around my village, pick some weeds, do all that stuff,
Okay. Anyway, to begin our discussion,
wow.
This is not structured. I don't have a script for this. Mostly it's just going to be me ranting about things. So, first of all, setting up this whole talk show to begin with illustrates perfectly my grievances with this game. It has a whole bunch of problems that it really doesn't need to have. First of all, everything takes way longer than it should. Okay, so depositing money, buying goods, going to services, having to turn off your wand in order to go into the clothing store setting room thing. I don't like it. I don't like how much time wasting there is.
It was a surprising pain in the ass to set up this.
Check out my video on my channel to see just how outrageous this ordeal was.
Yeah, it was a multiple hour ordeal to do something that seems pretty simple.
It could have been so much easier if I could just stay in this room and let him renovate the room. How hard could that be? How hard could that be, Nintendo? People are making... In Cyberpunk 2077, you can customize your genitals. How hard could this be?
For a game that boasts such freedom, it is surprisingly linear for things like setting this up, and especially multiplayer. A big part of the reason I like this game is the fact that you can go and visit a friend's island. So it's like if you spend a long time making like a Minecraft map, you do that because not only is it fulfilling to just continue working on a project, but you can bring your friends into it and show them how, what you've been working on.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you couldn't place blocks if you had a friend in your Minecraft server?
That would be so fucking awful.
There would be no Minecraft. Why should we hold Animal Crossing to a different standard than this?
Yeah. So, I think one of the main reasons that you can't do that is because there was a glitch going around to duplicate items that people were exploiting, so they kind of just locked the whole friends can do things together idea.
Here's my take on that idea. I think that makes sense for like a multiplayer game where it's competitive, there is an economy, there is a balance of things with resources, and that if one player gained an infinite amount of resources, then it would kind of break the game. But do people really play Animal Crossing competitively? And for many people, it's a single player game. Okay?
Yeah.
In Minecraft, I believe if there was originally a glitch where you could duplicate items. Initially, they got rid of the glitch, but then they put it back in because, as it turns out, Minecraft, it only worked in single player, and Minecraft is a game that you should be able to play however you want. I think Animal Crossing should hold up to kind of a similar idea.
Right, I totally agree with that. Especially for how much this game talks about, being a multiplayer and stuff like that. There's so many kinks in multiplayer that just make multiplayer kind of unplayable, other than just kind of showcasing your island. It's kind of like rather than having an amusement park, you have a museum.
Yeah,
which really does take down the multiplayer of this game. But that being said, the majority of my time in this game is single player. And the way I like to play this game is I'll throw on a podcast or something and just kind of chill out. And sure, going through the menus takes a long time, but it's kind of nice, I guess, in a way where, some people I used to like to go and play Destiny, right? Because I would just hop into Destiny, I'd kill some enemies, I'd get some experience, kind of not really have to turn my brain on too much and get a little bit of progress, no matter how minuscule, right? I feel that a lot with this game where, if I want to do something, I'm going to have to slog through some menus. So I'll kind of save it till later when I can just throw on a podcast and just get all that annoying stuff out of the way. So I can focus on the more fun stuff or, decorating my island, which is a little more, I have to be a little more focused and thinking about that.
Yeah, one grievance I do have with this game is that I know there's a whole genre of games where you do chores. It's fine because people naturally want to work. Some people work for fun. It's perfectly fine to have games that have a lot of busy work, but the busy work should be satisfying. And I feel like gathering fruit, chopping wood, it's not satisfying, and I believe the main idea behind that is that it's a slog. It feels like a chore because it is a chore because it takes longer than it really needs to be. I feel like, well, first of all, being able to hold down the grab item button and run over the wooden planks, that would be way faster.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really feel justified. Like, I do get a lot of money by collecting fruit, but collecting fruit is not fun. Maybe it is for some people. Maybe it's cathartic. But for me, it would have been, it's so close to being fun, but it's just not because it's just a little too slow. It's a little too much of an actual chore.
Well, I think coming from that standpoint, it's all, I like the way chores feel in this game because it does kind of feel like a chore. I don't necessarily want to go do a lot of the stuff. But that adds to the gratification of when I'm complete with it. When I sell all that fruit and get 50,000 bells, I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. I did that.
I do feel
and
some
then now I
satisfaction
can
from
put that money towards something else. It reminds me of how when I play Minecraft, if I want to set up a minecart system, I have to go slog in the mine for hours, get stacks upon stacks of iron. That, is not super fun. It gets old. When they added caves and dungeons that spruced it up a little bit, but or going out into the forest and getting a bunch of wood so you can have your wood planks to build a house or something, that kind of becomes a slog.
Well,
but in the end, that adds to the gratification of when you've built your house versus like if you just build a house in creative mode, it's not as satisfying as doing it in survival where you had to brave the wilds and go out and do that slog of collecting all that wood. It makes it more of a feat rather than just something creative.
Yeah, well, I do have one thing that definitely needs attention is that my grievances come from the fact that I enjoy doing all of those things in Minecraft, but for some reason I don't enjoy doing the same things in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I think that's because of how those things kind of come out. In Minecraft, whenever you jump into a cave, you don't know what's going on in there. Usually, when you go into a cave, you're exploring it for the first time. I don't do a lot of going back into a cave that I've already explored. Usually with Minecraft caves, since the layout is completely different and you can navigate things fairly quickly, mining iron does not take long, especially if you have a more advanced pickaxe, such as an iron pickaxe. And things are cut up a bit by encountering monsters, having to dodge lava, making sure that the route out is actually possible, and caring for your well-being. Whereas in Animal Crossing, it's just a little too much of the same thing with not enough to break up the monotony, I don't think.
Right. I mean, I think part of that is this game is about, a tropical island getaway. You don't want to be fending off yourself from dangers and dying all the time. You don't want to have to worry about starving to death.
Yes, however, there is a reason why we do have that in video games.
When you're relaxing, the idea is to kind of relax and just, work on that. And I understand that that's not everyone's forte is to kind of have a brain turn off thing. But that is part of what I like about this game is I can make progress whether I want to think or not. If I want to think, I can go decorate my island, try to think of a creative way to use the tools that this game gives me within the bounds that they keep me in to try to create something interesting. Like to make a flower patch that's surrounded by, some sort of water feature or something. The game allows you to do that.
Yeah, I love doing all these things. It's baffling to me that I don't like this game, because this game sounds like my dream game. It lets you customize pretty much everything you see in the world. Probably even with furniture and textures, it allows you to do so with a greater degree than Minecraft lets you do. But the baffling thing is that I do these things and I'm not having fun doing it. And I think that's because entering a menu, exiting a menu, going back to retrieve your items, pulling out the shovel, putting away the shovel, finding a bug, all of these things, they take longer than they need to, and they really, maybe it's just because I have a bad attention span, it really feels more like a slog than a recreational activity. So even doing the fun things in this game, they're not as fun as they could be.
Yeah, I think that derives from the original game where they kind of intentionally did that because it was about getting away and moving away to the country and the slow country life. And I don't think that tracks as well to a more modern game because I think we don't have really the attention span for that, and also we are more aware that seeing the same dialogue 10 million times and having it go slow so that you can read it even though you don't want to is just annoying and unnecessary. And there are a lot of things in this game that are annoying and unnecessary, but I don't know, it's just I just get around it somehow.
Yeah, with the dialogue thing. One of my favorite game series is Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter has always had that problem of whenever you talk to someone in your village, well, it's not like Animal Crossing, but there is a village. You mostly kill monsters, but there are villagers. So
it's just like Animal Crossing, but with a lot more murder.
Yes, precisely. Monster Hunter. Anyway, so in Monster Hunter, everyone in your village, when you talk to them, they have essential services, but when you talk to them, they have a whole mini conversation of you before you access to their services. It's usually like 4 or 5 boxes of dialogue before you can talk to the shopkeep or take a quest, or check your results in something, or collect your harvest box. And then in this newest game, Monster Hunter World, they actually fixed it. What they had was that each character will still spout a whole bunch of dialogue, but if you hit the B button, they'll actually skip to the very end of it, and you can press B, mash A, and you immediately go to their service. Like if you could go... can you imagine if you could go to Blathers with your fossils, talk to him, immediately hit B, and he immediately goes to the menu of, can I assess your fossils? Or do you have something to submit to the museum? And you can and you could have him assess all of your fossils at once, or submit everything you can to the museum, and then keep all the things that you can't submit to the museum.
And that brings me to my next point. If you look at the original game, there were a lot more annoyances that made it take so much longer to do anything. Blathers, for instance, you did have to give him one fossil one by one. If you wanted to donate something, you had to donate it one item after another, one by one, going through that conversation every time. In this game, you have the ability to donate multiple items at once, to give him 5, 10, 15 fossils to analyze all at once. It cuts down on that majorly.
Yeah,
you were saying, what you're saying about Monster Hunter updating their game is completely possible with this game. We've already seen it multiple times. They've made a couple updates, and I'm not saying that those updates have done major things to the structure of the game, but they have added multiple things to the game and have promised that they will continue to do so for free.
That's kind of the grievance I have with this, is that it looks like they obviously tried to take this game and make it faster. They took this formula, this series. By the way, this is the first game in the series, so I don't have a frame of reference from the previous games. I don't doubt that this is an improvement, but it's not enough of an improvement. They're clearly communicating that they want to make this a faster, more clean game, but they're taking baby steps with it. And the rest of the industry is like 10 paces above them. I think this and Pokemon have the worst problem with just wasting their time doing stuff. And they're getting faster, but they're not getting faster enough.
Well, isn't that just classic Nintendo?
Yes, that is classic Nintendo.
Doesn't Nintendo do that?
Nintendo, get your things together.
So that being said, shouldn't that be expected with a Nintendo game? And I'm not saying that you being bored with the game being so slow is wrong. It's not. You can rightfully be frustrated by that. But I think for me, the reason I'm able to just kind of get around that is because it's something I expected, knowing Animal Crossing and where it's come from and what it's been in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with most Animal Crossing fans. But seeing, you coming to this brand new, I can totally see how that would wall you out from wanting to continue to play it.
I think what shocked me is that I think I've played a couple of these kinds of games before, but I've never played one by Nintendo. And Nintendo does have a thing of theatrics over practicality. Yeah. Whereas like menus, they will still take 5 seconds to animate into the view, whereas you could have done that in like 0.5 seconds with another game.
Yeah.
And it does look better, but I don't think it looks better enough to justify the more time spent looking at things happen that you've seen happen many, many times.
Right.
And the fact that Nintendo they are trying to make this whole thing more streamlined, it's frustrating because I don't think they're doing it fast enough. I think it's still it's like, weird. Okay, you can have your streamlined game. Here's a little crumb of that.
It is weird, right, that they have some of it, they fix some things, but then not others. And I don't know. When I think about that, I think that maybe the next Animal Crossing game might be something like what they did with Pokemon Go, Pikachu and Eevee, where it was a completely different way to do it. They streamlined like almost every single thing people would complain about Pokemon was like heavily streamlined in that game, almost to a point where it was too much. Where I kind of blew through that game and it was a little too easy. But then they implemented that into the next game where things that people liked, they kept, and things that people didn't like, they got rid of.
Well, they didn't bring back the partner Pokemon following you, but
Yeah, no, they never did that. But
I'm sad about that.
Nintendo's just never going to please everybody.
That is one problem. I feel like Nintendo has the power to please everybody, but they're so downtrodden in their tradition that they refuse to kind of, I don't know, without better term for it, get with the times.
Yeah, that has always been
We give them this excuse because they're beloved developer Nintendo, and that's kind of allowed us to turn a blind eye to their kind of, they're getting lazy, I feel. They're not in the kind of conventional sense, but they're becoming unwilling to change, I think.
I think part of the reason also this game is the way it is because, now, I don't know this for sure, but it's been how long since the last mainline Animal Crossing game? Over 10 years?
I don't know.
That's got to
You're
be
asking
wrong.
the wrong person.
No, that's a wrong. It's been a long time though. Like the last one was New Leaf on the 3DS. That was the last mainline Animal Crossing game, and I think this game's been in development for so long, and we can tell like ever since the Switch, right? Nintendo's been kind of catching up with the times a little bit more.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm willing to
like-
bet that at the beginning of this game's development, they were probably like, okay, Blathers, how about you just have people submit their fossils one at a time again?
right?
They probably
Right.
did that mid-development, I'm guessing. But
There might, yeah.
so they were
yeah.
starting to do this, and then they just kind of like, we've done good enough. I'm sure these minor improvements will satisfy people.
Well, I also wonder how much of it is just unchangeable because they were, what they're building off of.
What really
And now having this game come out to so much scrutiny and so many eyes on it, like this game was very popular, and that causes people to look at it even harder, and ask why is it popular if it has so many problems.
I don't think it's under enough scrutiny. I think everyone's just giving it a pass.
Yeah, that is true. And I think also part of that is the time we're in, being stuck indoors all the time, and this game is about going outside and being able to have control.
Yeah,
and
this
is a
game is
time where we
liberating.
don't have. Yeah, it's liberating in many ways, but it also is very annoying in many ways, which maybe kind of brings it back around to real life, because there's a lot of things that I like about being alive, but there's also a lot of really annoying things you have to deal with that
I
are
don't
just
think
kind of
that's
a
an
slog.
excuse. I think that's
I don't know. Uh-oh.
Someone's
God
someone's
damn
coming.
it. Well, I guess we'll wait until
What was I
done.
talking about?
I don't know. That
Anyway.
really threw a wrench into it.
Oh
Yeah, I compared it to real life.
Yeah, in real life, I think it having the annoyances of real life, that's kind of like, first of all, I don't think that's a good thing to have, but that's not what you were saying. I think it can be a beneficial thing, but unintentionally beneficial fact about a video game. Some video games can be good for unintended reasons,
Well,
and that
yeah,
could
I
be an
don't think
unintentional benefit to this.
I'm not saying they did that necessarily. They could have, but I don't know if they're doing
Yeah,
it intentionally
I
to
don't
be
think
like,
they
this
did.
is a introspective look at life.
Ivan McFlurry now, by the way, guys. Welcome back.
Oh, all right. I feel like that should. I feel like that you should lose some points on your debate for not being professional.
Dude, you're the guy who has Benny coming in.
This was not my choice. All right, do not judge me based on other people's actions, John. Mr. McFlurry, man.
Shut up. I love McFlurries. I don't get these often
Anyways.
anymore. We're in quarantine.
But like I was saying, it imitates life in that way, but I don't think it's intentional necessarily. I'm not like saying that they were like, this is some sort of art piece to it certainly could be, but I'm not necessarily saying that's so. It just kind of serendipitously is the way it is, especially it's kind of capitalism, the game, where you spend all this time slogging around doing other people's chores, gathering food for others so you can get this money so you can buy more stuff to put in your house so your house looks more flashy, so you can buy in, making money so you can buy a bigger house so you can put more stuff in it. It's very capitalistic and what's the word?
Are you suggesting it's an unintentional social commentary?
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, if you're imitating life, then you're bound to imitate some of its subtleties, even if you're not intended to go for those subtleties.
Yes. Very true.
If you make an in-game economy, you'll also simulate in-game economy crashes, even if that's not what you intend.
Yeah, exactly.
Nevertheless, you can recreate the stock market crash using a video game.
Yeah. I don't see that happening in this game because it's not an online game with a centralized economy. But
Unlike
that
Nintendo
did happen
things.
in RuneScape.
Oh, yeah.
Someone bought all what was the nut? Someone bought like every single type of one nut, so that they like the price went from like 2 gold to like now they're like 9,000 gold because
Oh,
he
wow.
has all of them. It's
Is it like the
interesting.
Infinity Stones, where he just cuts the economy in half without when he has all the nuts?
He cut it by a lot more than half.
I am inevitable.
Getting off topic.
Ah, well, you know what? Who cares if we get off on topic? I think we had a good debate. I don't
Yeah,
think we got anywhere, but
do
I
you have
think we
any?
had a
Do
good
you have
one.
any finishing points that you want to?
All right. I thought my finishing point is that I like this game. I don't love this game like everyone else does, but I do like this game. It just the fact that I like it a little bit frustrates me because I feel like if it weren't for these really subtle changes, I could have loved it so much more. This could have become my favorite game if everything was just less annoying to do. If it wasn't a slog. Take away the slog, I will adore this game.
That's
And
very
also-
valid.
People come up with an exploit to get infinite stuff. It's a single player game. Chill out, Nintendo.
Yeah. That's all very valid. My finishing thought is that I do love this game, but being a lover of this game, am very disappointed at a lot of the things that do make it a slog. I mean, while I was making some of the arguments for that, I was kind of being devil's advocate. I don't necessarily want that in this game. I don't want to have to talk to Blathers for a full minute before I can like assess a fossil. You know, like I would like to see some of that removed. But
yeah.
again, what makes me see infinite potential for this game, not infinite, but so much more potential, is the fact that they're giving us these free updates and stuff, and the seasonal updates, and you know, it adds more stuff. You know, every time I feel like I've solved all the mysteries of a game is usually when I kind of fall off of it. But if I ever feel like I've solved all the mysteries of this game, there's a high chance that within the next month they're going to add some more for me to, you know, go searching for. So
Yeah, from what I've seen of the few quality of life updates they have done already, I do have some fleeting hope that this game or future games will be more optimized, but I have low expectations. I don't expect Nintendo to go very far. I don't think anything is going to cause them to go very far unless there's some sort of like repercussion for it. Like they have to. I don't think they will until they have to. And at this point, they won't have to. This game is a bestseller.
yeah, that's a fair point. It is people like this so much that I wonder if they did change some of that stuff, they would probably get complaints from old fans saying that they're changing the game too much. That part of the
I
game
hate
is
that.
that there are people that I'm sure like that. And it's disappointing because it makes me, you know, again, while I was saying that the update potential, you know, gives chance that they can change this, I doubt that they will because, I mean, again, this is not the first or last iteration of this game, and it's going to continue on a similar path, is what it seems like.
Okay.
Well, John,
Thanks for tuning in on this episode, unless we're going to be doing multiple in the same episode. Wait, I'll try this side. Push! We'll be able to move this.
all right. Well, it's too
There
heavy.
must be some way to
Well,
move
John-
furniture in multiplayer.
Well, John,
Yes?
I'm gonna go. You know, take care of our little friend who came to visit.
Oh boy. All right. You know what? You know
All
what I
right.
think I'll do? I think I'll wait, it won't let me hold it. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna pull out.
My
I was gonna
joke is
pull out
ruined.
my axe.
Yeah, I was going to do
pull
the
out
same
my
thing.
axe and I was joke ruined.
Yeah,
Fuck
okay.
this!
Okay.
I hate this game.
Aw.
Fuck this game.
Wait, come back.
No, John. I'm deleting this game from my Switch now.
Good. I win.
It ruined my
I win the
my
debate.
gag. John wins. This game sucks.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching,
Nintendo
guys.
delete this game from the Switch store.
See you.
McFlurry time. McFlurry time. McFlurry time. McFlurry time. How's your McFlurry?
It's good.